disc golf champion, Paige Pierce.
You can win Pro Tours, you can win A tiers, but we only get 4 chances to become a major champion.
This is actually her first big win ever.
Really cement your name down as one of the top players in the world.
Usually here in Pro Tours it's only 40, 50 women.
Not every woman is capable of dropping their jobs and playing every week.
We've been wanting to grow our sport for a very long time. It's going to be the largest women's disc golf event to date.
All the women that are coming together, it brings a totally different atmosphere. It's kind of undescribable. It's just for the spirit and love of the game.
All the best women in the world are going to be there.
You have so many different women playing together, and I think it's a really cool experience.
Never played, so I'm excited to see what the course demands.
Both of the courses are extremely beautiful. There's lots of birdie opportunities.
Courses are pretty reachable. I think what it's going to come down to is a putt.
Whoever's like on and feeling it is going to do really well. I like that they're very attackable.
It's going to come down to who's hitting the most putts this week.
A win would mean so much for me.
It's going to be intense. It's going to take consistent play. I'm going to have to just stay in it and try to put my best rounds together.
To win this tournament, you're going to need to stay in the fairway.
Stay confident in my game, be able to stay calm when there's a stressful situation.
My goal is always to win. It doesn't matter what tournament I'm in.
Play my own game and let's see what happens.
To win a United States Women's Disc Golf Championship, that's taking the biggest title for females in disc golf.
I just need to fight until the end.
Hello and welcome to the first round of the 2022 United States Women's Disc Golf Championship. This event is presented by Innova Champion Discs, and we are your hosts. My name is Paige Pierce.
And I'm Kona Panis. Together, we are about to witness the largest women's disc golf event in history.
How hyped is that? I want to challenge you guys. Let's make this the most viewed women's disc golf coverage that there ever was.
Let's do it. Hype up those likes. Make sure you're commenting down below. We want to hear what you guys are liking about the coverage, what you want to see in the future, and
share it.
Share it. Share with everyone.
Everyone you know.
If you're looking for some new discs to try out this summer, then right now is the perfect time to head over to the JomezPro website to get some new plastic.
Yeah, now through Monday, a portion of every single order is going to go to a bunch of different women's disc golf initiatives.
They have so many popular discs in stock, including Dynamic and Discraft, so head over to the website, grab some sweet plastic while supporting the ladies.
JomezPro is going to be donating to a few different initiatives, so if you know anyone that is running a women's league or an event, nominate them below in the comments.
All right, first on the card is Hailey King. She has 103 career wins, and this is actually her 6th event of the year.
I cannot believe she has 103 wins. That is amazing. Next up, we got Mertsch. You saw her on the mic'd up practice round. She is a great character out there, and she's got so much talent. She has 20 career wins, but I have a feeling she's going to get a lot more this year.
Only 20 years old. Next up, we have Valerie Mandujano. She has won in a few Elite Series this year and ranked top 10 in the world. So she's been playing great. Her game is working hard, and I can see her being top 10 at this event.
But never played this event before. How crazy is that? Cynthia Ricciotti, she is an up-and-comer. She has been at a bunch of big events, but this is the first year you're really going to see her out on the road. She's hitting the van life, and she is determined to get better. All right, round 1, we are at Vallarta Disc Golf Course. Hole 1 is a par 3. It's 330 feet. The gray that you see is not out of bounds. It is just indicating that is off the fairway. You want to make sure to stay in the short grass, and you kind of can pick your poison either left or right at the tree.
To begin our 304 card, we have Hailey King.
It's really great to see Hailey out again. She's only played, like I said, 6 events this year, so seeing her at one of the biggest ones is always great to see.
And back in her home state, Wisconsin, I saw lots of hailstorm flags waving out there. Hailey opting for the backhand hyzer here. There was a stiff headwind when we were teeing off. She didn't quite get enough power on that. She's going to leave herself a little bit short.
For our second competitor, we have Mertsch.
But Kat ain't even smiling. She's ready.
When she's on the course, she's very serious. She's been practicing really hard this year, and I'm excited to see how she plays today.
Kat also lining up the backhand here. And that's kind of what the error is in this headwind, is you don't want to get it out too wide and have it flip into that tall grass, but you know, hitting those trees is going to leave you short.
Valerie Mandujano.
Valerie's opting for her Orbit Rive. This is an overstable driver in the Latitude lineup.
That looks like nice speed. Is she going to get the skip? A little bit, but not quite far enough. She is going to leave herself about a 45 to 50 foot putt.
Into a straight
And
headwind.
to complete our 3:04 tee time, Cynthia Ricciotti.
Cynthia's definitely feeling that headwind, going with her CB3.
Oh, opting for the left side of the fairway. Very unconventional choice right here, but she gets almost pin high. I have to applaud her for that effort.
All right, Kat. I think that was Kat's pig. It's a very overstable driver.
Cynthia from just off the fairway, looking to get an easy putt. Any putt in wind, especially at the second major of the year, is longer than you want. So we're looking for these players, when they don't get birdie putts, put it inside the bullseye, make the stress-free par. Ooh, Val kind of had a bit at that, though. I love the speed coming out of her hand and so much spin on that disc. Ooh.
Count it.
Love to see it. Nothing like a putt to go in on hole one to get you amped up, you know, and confidence.
I think everyone's going to start out with some threes. I mean, nothing wrong with that. Getting past hole one.
Yeah, the birdie percentage on hole one was only 3%. There was only 3 twos on this hole today, and it was Own, Henna, and Jessica Weiss.
All right, hole 2, par 4, 530 feet. There's a tree in the middle of the fairway that is 362 feet. That's where you want to land. And then you have a 175-foot upshot to the tee. To the pin.
Hailey, with good distance, it never deviated left or right, but she is kind of right behind that tree, so we'll see how she can manage that upshot.
And this looks like it's drifting left to that long grass. It's not OB, but it is tough to stand in.
And it is so tall that it kind of hinders either your reach back or your follow through, and sometimes even both. And this hole also did have a headwind, so we were kind of forced to throw overstable, which does finish out towards that tall grass. Val did a good job of compensating and finding that short grass.
Ricciotti going for distance with her DD3. What a beautiful shot. Right in the fairway. Trusted it in the wind. She's going to have a straight approach to the basket.
And she's just a few feet in front of King, so we are going to... She's going to have the privilege of seeing King's wind read.
Great approach from Valerie. Knowing her putting, she should make that putt. We'll see if wind comes into play.
Beautiful speed. Beautiful speed from Hailey there. Ricciotti with a nearly identical approach. She puts this one a little bit higher than Hailey. Looking for that to sit. That's right in that tester range. She's about 25 feet, and she might have to go to a straddle because of that tall grass.
Kat leaving it a little bit short. That is one of her favorite shots, a little flex forehand with a putter.
You know, one of my favorite parts of this course, Kona, is the tall grass. I think it's something that you really have to adapt to, that you're not going to get a lot of ground play. You need to land the disc where you want it to land because that luscious, beautiful green Wisconsin grass is just so grabby. What a putt.
What a beautiful putt to start the round on hole 2. Yeah, run it back.
Little soft spinning hyzer putt right into the center of the chains, and she loves it. First time on Jomez, I would have to assume, for Ricciotti, and what a great way to start the day out. Oh, Hailey. A little low. I mean, it was dead center on the pole. Just didn't quite commit.
Valerie, one of the best putters on tour. Kat's going to tap in her par as we move on to hole 3.
Hole 3, this is a par 3. It's 275 feet. Again, tall grass is not out of bounds. It is pretty easy to find the right side OB if you get a little bit too much air under your disc. The biggest error I see is not putting your drive out wide enough and clipping some branches on that first tree. If you do that, you are leaving yourself about an 80-foot look, so it's pretty hard to get the birdie from there.
Valerie's going backhand. She hasn't been throwing forehand lately. She's been having some trouble, I believe, with her elbow, so only backhand, and she's great with angle control.
Clearly, we have a bullseye with the backhand. This is definitely the shot that a lot of players don't want to throw on this hole, but I think even healthy, I think Val might throw that, seeing how well she just executed that line. Cynthia, a little bit sharp out of her hand. We're hoping this doesn't cut roll.
Something people can't see about this hole is as you get up about like 175 feet, it kind of drops down. So if you throw something too glidey, it will go long.
And that's a good reason to throw the sidearm on this hole, because it's not going to finish forward. It's going to finish right. Even though Hailey swung that out a little bit too wide, she's just barely outside of the circle. And I think she will correct on that putt she missed on the last hole.
Kat Mertsch with the forehand as well. She's been working on this shot a lot. She's very self-taught. She talked about this during her practice round, and she went long.
A lot long. That's some nice power and, a good way to put some pressure on if she makes that putt. Gosh, Cynthia knew it right away. A little bit early out of her hand. It never really had a chance to get to the basket.
Kat just laying up, low ceiling, can't really do much. Take her par, walk away.
Yes, nice correction from Hailey King here. Made sure it was high enough, and the basket did catch that little bit left side putt there. Oof, quite a bit left side.
Caught it. She actually putts with fireflies, so it's a very straight, neutral putter.
Ricciotti for par. She does that pretty often. And, the coach in me wants to tell her, hey, if that's your reaction often, maybe put a little bit softer. But we'll see. Val with the easy birdie here, and she's going to move to 2 under par. And on that hole, Kona, we had Emily Beach throw a hole-in-one. That was our first time seeing an ace since DDO in the women's division. Up to hole 4, though. Par 3, 321 feet. This one is dead straight, but you do have some trees late in the gap at about 75 feet. So if you get past those trees, you're on the green and you have an opportunity.
Val getting through all the trees. She liked that hyzer line. She's going to be having to putt into a headwind, but this hole is downhill. So these players are going to be throwing discs that might glide far. And actually, Hailey's going with the forehand, which I like because it's, OB's left. Oh no, come back.
Come on. Yeah, I did like it as well, Kona. For a player like Hailey, she's so good at both backhand and sidearm, but if you have the distance on this sidearm, I think it's the better shot. Unfortunate error there from King. Ricciotti also finding off the fairway, but the right side is not out of bounds. She is going to have a chance, but it's going to be hindered.
Kat opting for the forehand. She's going to give herself, looks like edge of circle putt for her too. I gotta believe that's a Toro.
Yeah, and from deep, that disc went OB early, so this was still quite a testy shot, and she managed to get just outside the bullseye. Well done there from Hailey, minimizing the damage.
Ricciotti just having to lay up. I mean, putting all the way in that bush, she really didn't have a line.
Mertsch here from just outside the circle. Dead center, just a tiny bit low.
Valerie with the 2.
And that's 3 in a row. It's got to feel good coming out. Second major of the year. You have a chance to become a major champion. I mean, did you guys see that hype piece at the beginning? Kona and I are both sitting over here with chills. This tournament is career changing and honestly life changing. So to start that hot, I mean, I can't even imagine how she's feeling right now.
Hole 5, par 4, 610 feet. This hole is all about placement, and especially in the wind, you want to keep it in the fairway like the other holes. There's tall grass on right, tall grass on left, no OB, but got a good placement, and then you're going to throw down this gap, low ceiling to the basket. So don't throw something too glidey. You don't want it to go long into the rough. And try and get your par 4. I want to see if we can see some birdie 3s though on this card.
Yeah, I think there's a good opportunity for it here, especially if you get your drive into a good position. Val goes with the driver turnover and doesn't have enough height under the disc, so it doesn't get the full flex, but she is in the short grass. Now the second shot will just be a little bit more challenging than she wanted.
Cynthia getting over on her disc.
Honestly, the same shot pretty much there. So we'll see who throws that upshot better. Mertsch here. Can she get that full flex?
Kat's Shrike. It's her long distance driver, but it's going to leave her in the fairway. I don't know if she'll be able to see the basket from all the way back there, but...
Yeah, it's really hard to see it from there, but she is a little bit more left side, so she's going to have to throw a more neutral disc into the green.
This is what we're looking for.
What a drive. Hailey, it's still going. Beautiful shot. Past the spotter. She did not expect anyone to throw it that far, and Hailey just showed her how it's done.
Whoa. A little bit of a error from Valerie, it looked like. I don't think she liked it out of the hand, and now she's going to be in a bush. She might have a tough shot to approach the basket.
Ricciotti, same mistake. Wow. Surprised to see that, but kind of funny that they're playing the hole identical right now. There's not many times you see that.
See, and this is the part of this hole that's tough. You got to keep it low down into that gap because those trees, you can hit them so easy, drop, and she's going to have to pick up and play par.
Yeah, I think she should have went with a slower speed disc there. That full speed disc made her have to throw a flex line, and that's harder to control at a shorter distance.
And an error from Hailey. She had such a great drive. You want to see the upshot under the basket, but she'll pitch up, take her par as well.
So now the goal shifts. We wanted birdies. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. Now we have to shift our mindset. How do we get the par? Mandujano gets herself up on the green. Can Cynthia do the same? Yeah, Kona, this is one of the few holes where the green actually plays fast. The grass, as you can see, is kind of non-existent by the basket. So if you hit with a little bit too much speed, you are going to skip past the basket and maybe find those bushes back there.
Cat with a long bid. Oh, what a great run. And Paige, you know what's crazy? This is the most difficult hole on the course.
I mean, I can see it, I guess, right? I mean, we had 4 players on the fairway off the tee, but that approach is a lot harder than you give it credit for. So, you know, maybe tomorrow we're going to have some different plays. We're going to see a little bit of improvising and, you know, hopefully a little bit of adapting on this green. Oh, Kat, a little high. You know, if you do miss, we never want to miss, right? But if you miss, I'm happy that it was high.
Yep,
Her
gave it a chance.
past couple putts were a little bit low, so now she just needs to find that middle ground.
Cynthia's been putting really well. That's usually the part of her game that's maybe a little off, but today she came to play.
Hailey with an easy par. Hailey's one of my favorite players to watch. She's so talented in every facet of the game. It's all about the mindset for Hailey. So I am hoping to see her smile. I'm hoping to see her get excited about holes. And hole 6, this is a sweet hole. It's a par 3, it's 255 feet. There is that road going through it, but that road is not OB, and this hole is not an island. So it's pretty much dead straight. But the way the bush comes out right off the tee makes it slightly a blind shot. Makes you think you need to throw an anhyzer. And Val did a good job of having that anhyzer angle, but not having it pushed too far to the right. Cynthia had that anhyzer angle, but it hyzers out a little bit quicker. She is going to be outside of circle 1. Almost pin high, but she'll have the basket is slightly elevated on that rock face, so she's going to have to putt a little bit up.
This is the play I like, the forehand. You don't have to turn anything over. You put it out left, up a little bit, just like Hailey did. She put it a little right, but she has a putt.
And Kat will follow suit with a sidearm. Even better. Oh, no. Okay.
Okay. This is the thing about this hole. I actually saw a few rollaways hit cage roll away today.
And that's the downfall of the sidearm play, is that when it hits the ground, it still has so much speed and likely to roll. The backhand's kind of landing a little bit softer, especially with it being a little bit elevated.
Kat Mertsch with the first birdie of the round. Let's see if she can keep that momentum going.
And, I mean, she's got her putt now, right? Once you see it go in, it's easier to replicate, so hopefully that propels her momentum.
Valerie, what I love about Valerie's stroke with her putt is whether it's staggered or straddle, it's always the same motion.
Tempo. Oh, Hailey. You know, Hailey is almost too good sometimes. Sometimes I feel she rushes it because she's just like, oh, this is a tap-in. Easy money. And sometimes she just goes a little too quick. I think that was what that error was caused by on this putting green.
Hole 7, par 3, 205 feet. We're going through the backhand route right now. It's a really low ceiling shot, but we will see some players throw some forehands route on the left side. There is a huge drop off behind this basket. Val's opting for that backhand shot, and oh, see, that's the issue.
I did not think that any player would go that way.
She's not throwing forehand right now.
I know, but backhand anhyzer is still a play as well. I mean, Kat Mertsch, beautiful shot. She is going to have an easy look at this green. Cynthia, I love to see this sidearm. I can tell from playing rounds with her, she's not super comfortable throwing the sidearm, but I love that she busts it out in the middle of a major and chooses to challenge this shot in her arsenal at the biggest level, and she executes.
It's because she knows it's the shot, you know? So if you don't do it in tournament, you're never going to get the correct feeling, you know?
Totally agree. Val leaves herself with a throw to approach on a 205-foot hole. This is not what you want to see. This is, I would have to imagine, one of the shortest holes that we play all year long. though. When you start 4 for 6, oh my gosh, and then you nail it dead center death putt.
Dude, that wasn't like soft. That wasn't like,
Wow.
oh, if I miss, I want it to be close. This is going in.
Val came to play. She said, I've never played U.S. Women's before. All right, let's just go 4 for 7. Dead center death putt.
There we go, Hailey.
She's ready.
She didn't look happy about that, but she banged that putt for birdie. So good on Hailey for that bird.
It could also be just a little bit of lingering disappointment in the last putt because this hole was so short. You know, the time frame from that last hole, it was just ending.
I'm not to be underestimated. Like, I'm really not. I've got something to prove. I'm literally going to be one of the best in the world. It's as simple as that. Don't underestimate me.
That was rad.
Good job, buddy.
I can't believe it.
You're up next.
Stay turning. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Ooh. Wow.
Alan, inbounds.
That's exactly.
Unbelievable.
All right, we are back on hole 8, another par 3. This one is 321 feet. In my opinion, this is the most beautiful hole in the course, but this one, it has a dead straight gap that aims you right at the basket, but it's a harder gap to hit. So players are probably going to opt for the right side gap on a hyzer flip backhand or a flexing sidearm. Oh, she had the right idea. I truly do feel, Kona, that is the best way to park the hole, that flexing sidearm. Unfortunately, Mertsch just turned that one over just a little bit too much. Ooh.
Great angle from Hailey. So the thing about this hole that's a little deceiving is it looks like you're throwing downhill from the tee, but really it's just a little canyon and then it goes straight back up. I walked this hole with my Bushnell and it's the same elevation from the tee.
Mandujano a little bit right out of her hand. She's going to be behind that giant tree, which is about 90 feet from the basket.
This is Cynthia's CD3 and
wow. Did Cynthia and Hailey play practice round together? Because again, same line and it wasn't the go-to line, I think, but they both made it look so beautiful.
Whew, Kat with that early release, but I got through a gap. Kat, you're good. You got a putt. Val kind of overturning that disc. I believe that's a pure, so you can't put that on too much angle or it's just going to glide right.
Hailey, the speed, the spin, everything looked good. She probably just wishes she was about 15 feet closer and that would have went in.
Cynthia's been giving all of these putts a big run, all of them that I've seen.
You know, I think it's got to be first time Jomez. You know, she's out here with the big dog. She's trying to let the people know she is here and she's a force to be reckoned with. And I really applaud all of the effort she's been putting in on these putts. It's been fun to watch already. And we're only on hole 7.
Hole 8.
We are on hole 8.
Which happens to be the third most difficult hole with 2% under a par. There were only 2 birdies, Hannah Wynn, my good friend, and Natalie Ryan.
Wow. Amazing. Natalie showing us her fire in that hype video. And Hannah, she almost didn't make it to the event. I heard they had some van troubles. So shout out to both of you for carding the only 2 birdies on this hole today.
Hole 9, par 3, 282 feet. This hole is a huge backhand turnover hole. You want to get something over and right to drift towards this basket, or I have seen a few forehands. There is also a little rock wall, so if you have a putt on the left side, you could send it and maybe go a little long, but I could see some 2s, some easy 3s on this hole. Hailey opting for that forehand. This line looks great, but it's got to get going. Okay, that's a long putt.
Yeah, this one is so much farther right than you think. And I came to find out today that the more you hug that right side, the better it's going to be. Val does hug that right side. She actually gets herself right at circle's edge, and she will have a chance to go 5 under on the front 9.
This is Cynthia's CD2. It's still going.
I love that line. I love the speed. I love the width. I love everything. The only thing I don't love is the disc choice. I kind of want her to throw a slower speed disc there so it holds that Anheuser angle the entire flight instead of hyzering out like the driver would.
Kat with a beautiful forehand. She'll give herself a long putt. Let's see if she can make one. She's known for these C2 putts.
Wow. I kind of saw a little bit of the wind get under that and just drop it down. Kat wants no part of that.
Nothing. I applaud that.
Ricciotti from about 45 feet. Same decision there. So it's all up to Val. Does she want that 5 under front 9?
And she did. She got that birdie. Val actually tied for the best front 9 with a 5 down along with Evelina and Emily Beach. Crazy.
I mean, what a beautiful scorecard from Mandujano. We see 3 total bogeys on this card. So obviously you need to eliminate those. You need to get birdies. You can see the leaderboard after front 9. Like you just said, Emily Beach with the ace, 5 under par. Evelina Salonen here from Finland, 5 under par. And a bunch of people at 4 under, 3 under. So birdies are key. Eliminate the mistakes. And we're going to have incredible action. We want to say thank you to the Founders Club, the Patreons at JomezPro. You guys are what makes this channel possible. Thank you guys so much. I cannot wait to see what happens on the back 9. Is Val going to go double digits?
I can see it. She's on fire. Her putt's on, and that's what you need to succeed on this course.
I cannot wait to watch. And again, remember you guys, this is the biggest event in women's disc golf history. So please help do your part in growing the sport, and let's match those numbers in views, in comments, in shares. Show everyone. Be annoying. Talk to the person next to you at the restaurant and tell them, have you heard of disc golf? Go check it out. Anyway, let's get to this back 9 action.